I gotta say, I just don't remember tent camping being anywhere near this hard. It's about 6:30 in the morning. The wind's blowing about 15 miles an hour. It's dark. I don't know where anything is. Pearl ain't about to get up until the wind calms down and the sun comes up. The portable toilet, the wind's blowing it, folded in half. Luckily, it hasn't knocked the toilet over and spilled everything out. The refrigerators, our power stations ran out of power just a little bit ago. Their freezer's up almost to freezing, and the refrigerator's up a little bit over 40, and neither one of those are good. It just never was this hard that I can remember. But I gotta get some coffee. Not sure how much grounds to put in there. I hadn't made coffee in a long time. I bet it's black and I bet it gets hot. Oh yeah. Making coffee. Alrighty folks, this is a big day. Well, I'm waiting for the wind to calm down and my little ray of sunshine to wake up and climb down them stairs and tell me just what she thinks about camping in that camper 10 feet up in the air with 15-mile-an-hour winds. This is a big day. This is a go or no go kind of situation. So let me kind of explain what all it took to put this little camping contraption together. Well, one thing I'm learning on doing upgrades and modifications to a Jeep, things are expensive, they're big, and they're heavy. This here is, we tow our Lincoln, it used to be, now it's going to be our Jeep, behind our motorhome. So here's the connection kit so we can make our lights, to work off of the lights on the motorhome. For our blinkers, our brake lights, our running lights. So this here, we got it up here. We'll be installing it in the next couple of days. This is from E-Trailer. We get a lot of stuff from E-Trailer over the years. And it's the connection so our tow bar that's on the back of the motorhome can hook to the connections right underneath the bumper on whatever car we're towing. This was about 500 bucks, 400 and something bucks. We're sending it back. It costs $70 to send it back because it's big and heavy. Because we're ordering I found out after I ordered this, we need to get a winch. To get a winch, we need a bigger, better bumper than what came with the factory. So we're getting an aluminum bumper that has the tow bar connections welded onto the front of the bumper. Cost a lot more. That's about 2,000 bucks, but minus the $400 or $500 here makes it about 1,500. So this goes back. It costs $70 to send it back. This is the rack that sits up here that our tent's going to go. And this is the sort of project that I enjoy putting together. I got plenty of time. I got a budget to where I can get the stuff I need, and it's kind of fun, just like a big boy crossword puzzle. Until it's not. One of the corner braces, and you got to have all four corner braces locked in pretty solid. I couldn't get the bolt. It goes through about 4 pieces of steel to get down inside that tube, and it just has to hit just right and bolt in. The other 3 work just fine, but this one was giving me a heck of a time. It took a couple of days, and I still didn't have it. Well, a day and a half. Hammering and twisting, and finally I've got an oscilloscope thing, a camera that I can run down, and it's come in handy 2 or 3 times. And so I ran it down the tube to see what the heck, why is it not lining up? And I could see where I'd been hammering on the bolt where it's hitting about 1/8 of an inch from where the nut sitting there waiting for it. So I had to loosen all the screws, at least on that side, and just wiggle and jiggle, and finally it took a hold and got it all tightened up. So once I got it together, it was great. I had to just set it down, get Pearl, see if I could get her to volunteer to help me pick it up and slide it up on there. This stuff is just a little heavier than people our age need to be pushing around. But we got it, and we're getting things going. Until Pearl informed me, that ain't happening again. We tried picking that up to put it on the bed of the truck. We just couldn't do it. But we got friends that can do it.
This is the easy one. I can see the nut. Yeah.
So once we got enough muscle here, we got the rack up on top of the Jeep, and then we got the bed up on top of the rack. And it's got these 4 clamps that we have to just screw down so they can lock up onto the railing system on the top to secure the bed to the rack. And it's pretty secure. It works really good, it seems like. And once we got the management team on site, things started growing much, much smoother.
Yeah.
Now bring it back
Now
up.
bring it back out. Nope, it's still pulled it down.
It won't let that top one stay up, will it?
That's weird. That
No, then maybe you need to make one, can any of the other ones go taller?
Shove that up.
It's not the can, it's the whole suspension.
There you go, now you're talking.
Now.
Now try it.
Now it's locked.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There you
Good.
go. Yeah.
What do we do? We just raise it up a little bit?
Well, we just
lock this.
close
Raise
this one
up.
down and lock this one out full.
You made that one go up one more latch.
Thanks,
Yeah,
guys.
it's solid now.
No, that's not solid.
Well,
That would be
Now
my
pull it
question.
down.
Ron.
well, if you have
Yeah, there you
angle, see right now that way it's not
Yes,
gonna
there
get
are.
it.
At least it's locked.
Yep.
It wasn't locked
But it's a
before. Take a look, see if there's any breeze coming in there. I got sweaty.
Something was happening.
Okay, Wayne,
If anybody's curious.
Wayne,
Replaced his
I'm gonna sit down, that made me.
fork, and it wasn't, it was doing something. I said, well, it shows on the instructions, you shouldn't have the tire on there yet.
Anybody want a beer?
Put the tire there.
Somebody say,
It'll work.
cold beer? You betcha, buddy. And then a little dinner, and you know what's coming next. Little Mexican train.
Waiting on the day when we don't feel the same.
Well, we're getting ready for our first outing. We got the truck loaded down. We got a refrigerator, got a freezer, propane fireplace, propane clam tent, and groceries and whatnot back there. The tent seems to be working fine. We're loaded down up on the roof with a mat and some chairs and whatnot. Look like the Beverly Hillbillies coming to town. Got the back seat loaded, water and more food stuff. So we don't know what we're gonna need, so we're taking everything we can fit, and we'll know better next time. We don't have our boards yet for our traction boards, recovery boards. They coming today. We're waiting for a couple of UPS deliveries, and then we're gonna hit the road. We'll see you out at the campsite.
You might be asking yourself the same thing Pearl's asking. What the heck am I trying to accomplish with this Jeep and this camp tent? And I'm not sure I can answer that. We've been traveling around the country in our RV, going to some beautiful places, but we don't get to go to the really beautiful part. We've tried taking our 42-foot Class A motorhome to some of them, and we've got it into some places, but not nearly as many places as we'd like to. So that's what we're trying to do some off-road overlanding. And we've got about everything we need. We got the clam tent, we got our solar panels, we got the portable power stations. And those 4 little lights there you see, Tom and Lori use those. They're solar motion detector lights you can put around, so when we're climbing down that ladder, needing to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, we've got them positioned around so that it lights up the way. That's a great little addition. We've got the propane stove. We have two 12-volt refrigerator freezers that we set one up for a refrigerator, one up for a freezer. That works great. And we've got this little wooden kitchen contraption. But this kind of shows you our general setup. And for the most part, I'm loving it. Pearl is not totally convinced yet, but she's willing to give it a shot. She just got that built in her, but she hadn't given her final answer yet. And we'll get that at the end of the video. I don't even know what it is. But this is the rig that we got it set up now. And we've got a lot of recovery equipment. Once I get that winch installed, I'll do a video on what all we bought for recovery equipment, because we're going to be going, hopefully, to a lot of places that may be a little sketchy. And we're probably going to get stuck and we'll be going by ourselves most of the time. Because we don't know a lot of folks that do this kind of overlanding. As we get to meet them, it'll be a lot more fun going in pairs or triples or whatever, get a group of us. But for now, it's just purling. Well, as you can see, the sun's come up, but the wind, it ain't slowed down a drop. That porta potty, it's still twisting in the wind, and it's just a disaster waiting to happen. Pearl and Tinker are up now. They're over here to the left, but Pearl said she'd wring my neck if I point that camera towards her. All right, you've had a night to think about it. I think I've kind of read your expressions, your comments, but tent camping specifically, what's your thoughts?
It's going back a few years, and it's going to take a little while to get used to it again.
That don't tell us much.
I did enjoy the time that we spent out there, except when it got nasty windy.
But what's your thoughts about climbing up and down that ladder, going to the bathroom in the middle of the night? We both got lucky. Neither one of us had to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night.
Thank goodness.
I think we kind of mentally psyched ourselves up.
I think maybe so.
But we had it set up. We had those lights all the way around to get to the toilet. If we'd had to do it, that would have been perfect. Thanks, Tom and Lori, for that
Absolutely,
idea.
yes. Oh, I like those lights.
But, I mean, what do you think? What do you think about the tent itself?
It was comfortable once we got in and settled down. It was comfortable. My dog didn't seem to mind it too much. I didn't mind it too much.
My feet didn't hang out.
No, your feet didn't hang out. Thank
That
goodness.
was good.
That would have made me cold.
Yeah, but you hadn't really given a solid answer about, are you on board? Are you looking forward to this, or are you kind of?
I enjoyed it, and I am looking forward to going off-road, seeing a lot more country. I don't want the big challenges of the strenuous road trips, off-road trips.
So, before we go much further, you might can tell already, this is a learning curve for both of us.
Well, howdy.
I mean, we've done camping, tent camping, all that, but tent camping up on top of the RV, and we're older and we don't move as easy and good as we used to. So it's kind of new for us. But the biggest thing, so that'd be fun to follow along and see how we conquer some of these challenges and how some of the challenges conquer us. But what Pearl mentioned about the off-roading, that's going to be an issue. I want to go drive, do water crossings. I want to go through places that I'm not sure we can get through. I don't want to damage the rig or ding it up too much, but I plan on getting some Arizona pinstriping and
I don't want to get stuck somewhere without having a backup.
yeah, neither one of us do. That's just a start. We're gonna have there'll be a lot of these conversations,
Boy,
and we don't mind sharing, especially if it's me being a goofball. Pearl don't be a goofball too much. But it ought to be fun. It ought to be fun for us, and it might be fun for you guys to follow along. I've never done any, used any of that rescue equipment. Those recovery boards, winch. We've always had four-wheel drive. We've had a couple of Jeeps and F350, F250, F150, all four-wheel drive. But it's always to get through ice and snow. It's not none of this kind of stuff.
And it was primarily highway driving as opposed to off-road driving.
Right. So it's all new. And it ought to make for some good videos, because I plan on putting it to the test as good as an old couple like us can. And so we're gonna have some debates.
We are gonna have some debate.
You made it pretty clear you want a new toilet in that you can live with a
boy,
tent.
howdy.
But you want a little more stable
Yes,
toilet. So
yes.
we'll get that. And I think we got all our cooking, our refrigerator, freezer stuff, everything we've pretty much prepared for.
Pretty close. We still need to do a little bit more preparing, but for the most part, we're pretty close.
And here we're in Yuma, so we won't leave Yuma until 1st of April.
First to mid-April.
Yeah, but over the next month or so, there's plenty of places to go here. We can even go up in the mountains if we can find a place where it's not too awful cold. And so we ought to be able to make another video or two on, what do you call this?
Overlanding.
Okay. Before we take off. But we got some good plans. So that's where we're at. I think it's a go. Give me 5, baby. And we still don't know who's going to be driving the Jeep. I want to drive it most of the time. Pearl probably wants to drive it most of the time. So we got to figure a couple of things out still.
When it comes to the off-road driving, you can do most of that. I don't
Okay.
have a problem there.
Alrighty.
So when something gets screwed up, not my fault.
There you go. It never has been
Chicken.
so far. So that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you subscribe, stay tuned, and follow along. And maybe we can answer some of your questions. If you've got some suggestions, please leave them down in the comments. Or if you got some
Absolutely,
questions, we will be glad to.
Try and answer.
Yeah, a little bit maybe wrong, but we'll give you our best answer. All righty.
So if you've got any tips at all, please feel free to throw them our way.
Yeah. So until we see you guys again next time,
Keep the wheels rolling.
stay safe.
We'll see you at the next exit, folks.
So long, everybody.
Bye-bye.
You gotta return it, Bob, your feet don't fit. I should have measured that before, huh?
I've got pictures to send you. His feet hanging out.
Hey,
Very good, thanks.
That's funny.